Welcome to this week's Weekend Wisdom. This podcast is our opportunity to answer your questions. So send us your questions. You can send them to us at info@creatingafamily.org, or there's a link in the show notes and you can click there. All right, today's question is a great one. It's from Maya. She says, "First, I wanted to thank you for your incredible podcast. I'm not a parent. I only recently graduated from college, but I have been volunteering at a group home for foster care children for the past couple of years. Your podcast has not only helped me to work more effectively with the kids I see, but also has given me insight into what I want to do in my career. I hope to research and work with families involved with the foster care system in the future, and your podcast has allowed me to learn from so many interesting and diverse perspectives. My question is, how do you balance giving children who have experienced trauma both a sense of control and structure? From the kids I've worked with, I've noticed that many of them tend to act out the most when they feel like they don't have control. This makes sense to me, as I imagine almost all the kids in the foster care system have had a severe lack of control in their lives. However, I've also heard that kids who've experienced trauma benefit from having strict structure in their lives. These two ideas seem somewhat antithetical to each other, but both seem important. How do you recommend parents and practitioners give children both a sense of control over their lives and provide them with structure so that they have a sense of safety? Thank you again for your wonderful podcast. It truly has made such a difference in how I think about the foster care system. I look forward to listening to your podcast every week." Well, thank you, Maya, for both the really interesting question and for your kind words. I've often thought that the art of parenting is learning how to balance those two things, balance the providing of structure while also allowing our kids to have age-appropriate amount of control over their lives. And how we strike this balance, I think, depends a lot on how old the child is, as well as other factors such as how long they've been with us, their basic temperament, and their past life experiences. With younger children, the balance between structure and control is easier to make. You provide structure by setting up their environment to be predictable. And predictability leads to a feeling of control because they know what's coming and they can anticipate it. And within this structure, you let them have more control by giving them choices that are age appropriate, such as, do you want to wear blue jeans or leggings? Or do you want to set the table or help with loading the dishwasher? And this same general principle, I think, applies as children age, except that they need to be given more input in creating the structure and more choices within it. For example, do you want to do homework right after you get home from school or wait until after some chill time? Another example, what is a reasonable time for you to put your phone in the communal charging place downstairs for the evening? Or what do you think is a reasonable time for you to come home after the football game? They need to have input into the basic daily family routines, and more choices within it is even more important for kids and youth who have had so little control, as you point out, over what's happened in their lives. Really, fundamentally, they need to feel heard and respected. And most often, when they have been consulted and feel like their input matters in setting the structure or the rules, they're more willing to follow them. Maya, I hope this helps, and I am so glad you're volunteering at the group home. Our profession needs more people like you, so thank you. And before you go, let me remind you that Creating a Family has a monthly newsletter. It is a e-newsletter. It's free. You can sign up at creatingafamily.org/newsletter. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next week.